Green sauce is one of the tastiest sauces in my sauces collection. It is made up of minimal ingredients, but the taste is overwhelming. If you are new, thanks for joining, and to my old golden members, I love you so much. First of all, we need green peppers. This is the quantity I am going for. We cannot do without these peppers. We also need bell peppers to sweeten the dish. I've already washed and prepped it. I'll also use onions, ginger, garlic, and bay leaves. And guys, the bay leaves is very important. And to my spices, guys, I have pounded herrings. That's amani, the small ones. I just pounded a little. I pounded black pepper, I pounded rosemary and aniseed. So this is the spices I'm going to use to flavorize my stew. And for this scene, I will be using my powerless blender. First of all, I'm going to put half of the peppers into the blender because the quantities on the table is a lot. So I add half of the peppers, slice the bell peppers on it, and then proceed to add my onions, add my ginger, and add my garlic. So I'll add the quantity of water that is enough for this recipe. Mostly people blend it with oil. I see that method as it takes up a lot of oil because if your blender isn't powerful, you will require more oil to enable it to get a smoother paste. So I just use water because I want to make this stew with less oil as possible. So after crushing my ingredients, I proceed to add the rest so that I can use the juices underneath to blend the bigger ones. So I just added everything. Now added my spice because my spice is not fully crushed. So I add it so that the blender can make it very smooth. I proceed to blend that one as well, and now pour it in my saucepan. I do not add oil at the base of the saucepan. So after pouring it in my saucepan, I proceed to set my fire as usual. Agm3n cooks with charcoal. I put my sauce on fire and then fan the fire till it starts boiling. At this point, we are not going to add oil. We are going to fan the fire, stir till all the vapor from the juices evaporates. After the vapor has evaporated and the stew has thickened, I proceed to add 2 scoops of oil using this scoop. And this quantity is absolutely enough. I see it as not necessary because you'll be using this food to eat other dishes. So if you can reduce the oil in this food, reduce your intake of oil as well. For instance, if you are eating anwamo, there's oil in the rice. The fish or the chicken you are adding, there's oil in it. The egg you are adding, you fried it. The shito, there's oil in it. And probably this sauce too, you've added a lot of oil, so it makes it bombarded with oil. So I try my best to reduce the oil. And guys, this is the secret to most of my delicious recipe I make for people. I mostly add this to my recipe to give it an extreme flavor. When people are eating it, they can't really identify what makes it very flavorful. After I flavorize my sauce with salt, 1 teaspoon of salt, because the reason why I use 1 teaspoon is because the stew is already tasty. The herrings and the spices have made it very flavorful. So I require just little amount of salt to just boost up the flavor. So try this green sauce recipe and add it to your dishes and you're going to love it. Remember not to depend on your own understanding. Trust in the Lord always, for He will show you the right path to take. I love you, and until next time, stay blessed.